இப்போ கூட கூப்பிட்டீங்களா மன A very good morning to one and all present here. It is indeed my pleasure and privilege to welcome the speaker of the session, Dr. V. Egan, proprietor, Hexacara Laboratories, IIC members and coordinators, my dear teachers and my fellow mates to today's program. We, the Department of Biochemistry, in association with IIC DDG-DVC, take immense pride in organizing this virtual webinar on My Story, Motivational Talk by an Entrepreneur. The aim of the Institution Innovation Council is to systematically foster the culture of innovation and start an entrepreneurial ecosystems. Our prayers are sometimes answered without us realizing it, and in also ways that we did not ask for. But always remember, God's plan is we shall not start the event by taking blessings from the Lord Almighty. I request Ms. Jayalakshmi, 2nd BSc Biochemistry, to render the invocation song.
Satyavratham Satyaparam Trusatyam Satyasya Yonam Nihitancha Satye Satyasya Satyam Ritasatya Netram Satyatmakam Tvam Sharanam Prapannaha Vani Gunanukathane Shravanau Kathayam Hastau Cha Karmasu Manastava Padayonaha Smrityam Shirastava Nivasa Jagat Praname Drishtistatham Darshane Subhavattanunam Namo Bhagavate Tasmai Krishnaya Bhutakarmane Rupanama Vidhethena Jagat Kridatiyo Yataha.
When everything seems to be going against you, remember that airplane takes off against the wind, not with it. Now I request Professor S. Vaitahi, Department of Biochemistry, to introduce the speaker of the session.
Very good morning to one and all present here. It's my pleasure to introduce Dr. V. Egan, young entrepreneur, Managing Director, Hexacara Holdings Private Limited. He completed his UG in Biochemistry and PG in Biotechnology from the University of Madras. He completed a certificate course in medical genetic testing and counseling offered by Indian Council for Medical Research. He was awarded PhD in medical biotechnology during the year 2013 to 2018 from the prestigious institute Bhupat and Jyoti Mehta School of Bioscience, IIT Madras. He has also completed an MBA in IIT Madras. He is a highly qualified and experienced entrepreneur in the field of genetic testing and stem cell therapy. He is the only South Indian and one among the top 5 Indians to hold a certification for genetic testing approved by ICMR. He was the director and co-founder of Bio Ultima Life Sciences Private Limited from 2012 to 2016. Currently, he is the director of Hexacara Holding Private Limited, Hexacara Laboratories, Hexacara Life Sciences, Iris Laboratories, Iris Life Sciences. I welcome you, sir, to share your journey and motivate the young minds. A warm welcome, sir. Over to you, sir.
Sorry, my mic was off. Thank you so much, ma'am. It was a very good introduction. And before I start, can I see some of your faces? All I'm seeing is only pictures. Is it possible for some of you to switch on the video? Am I audible? Yeah,
Audible,
Saran,
sir.
and hi.
You are audible,
Hi,
sir.
Saran. Love to see you.
Audible, sir.
Hi, Netra. So, yeah, thank you so much. I know how difficult it is for you to have different backgrounds and switch on the videos. Okay. Before I start, I envy all you people because and now I am with the students of the same institute where I was not able to get admission into for my biochemistry, graduation in biochemistry. After scoring so much marks, I was denied a seat in DG Vaishnav because it was really very competitive, and the department is also like they are doing very wonderful towards their academics and research programs. And also one of our alumni, Dr. Anand, is my colleague and he is employed with me. And I know the quality of DG Vaishnav. And before I start, again. So you want me to talk about my journey as an entrepreneur? That can be maximum done in 10 to 15 minutes because I don't uh, like talking too much about my own self. So after the 10 or 15 minutes, if you people are really interested, we can have a questionnaire session. Otherwise, it is going to be a very whole story of what I did, how I did this, how I did that, and that is going to be very boring. And it's very boring for me also because I really daily think of the same thing from where I have started. I can have few replies. Hi, people. Am I audible?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, yeah. I can have few replies. No, this is not your regular. I'm not going to take any biochemistry class here, so that it's going to be a lot of exchange here. At least you can reply in messages. So I'm not getting any replies. I asked if it is okay to have a question and answer session or a exchange after 15-20 minutes. Is that okay, or you want the for 1 hour you want to hear what I have did, the boring old story? Someone can reply even in messages. It is fine. Then how many of you are very comfortable with English alone or Tamil and English or Tamil alone? Can I have a reply for that?
Bilingual is better, sir.
Bilingual is better. Okay. Thank you, Netra. So then, okay. Like, I think most of you will be from biology background, biology with mathematics or pure science background in your schooling, and then you wanted to do something big. And if not, you're not going to take a subject like biochemistry, which is tough and demanding. So like many of you, like 15, 16 years back, I also took biochemistry to actually do something, innovate and win the Nobel Prize. That was my dream back then. And it has majorly derailed, and I am into business now, less into academics and lot into business. Uh, then I did my BSc, as ma'am said, I did my BSc in biochemistry from University of Madras, not from the campus, with an affiliated college. And then again MSc in biotechnology, which is a cross major for me from University of Madras. So then in my first year college of MSc biotechnology, my first day actually, my professor, Dr. Rajagopali, called all of us, like there are 26, 30 students, and they called all of us and he gave the list of leading 25 companies, and he asked at the end of this course, how many of you want to be employed there? These are the leading companies, and these are our major employers, and how many of you want there? So like except me, everyone rose their hands, and I was the only one standing reluctant. He asked, why don't you think you can pass this course? I said, sir, I don't want to be employed in one company. I want to be a director of one such company. I want to found a company. I want to be a founder. So then, as usual, like a lot of our friends, there were a lot of laughter, there were a lot of reluctance and ridicule, and a lot of things happened. But uh, I found a very good mentor in my professor, Dr. Rajagopal, because that 2 years he identified me, and he helped me a lot in understanding academics and how academics and business work. Academics is very purely you can be go into academics, you can go into research, you can be in your own world. You need not to worry about others. What are the outside factors? The globe doesn't bother you. The weather doesn't bother you. The culture doesn't bother you. You are inside a lab, and especially in a subject like biochemistry or biotechnology or life sciences put as a whole, it is very difficult to worry about what is happening outside unless it is a pandemic and unless you are noted. So people generally don't. We are not heroes, right? Any academician is not a hero in most of the world, and definitely not like students in India. So you can be very much into yourself. But what happened in business? What about in business? Every factor that is outside you affects you. What X things, what Y things, what Z things. So you have to actually convince someone. You have to actually fight their need and answer that particular need of them. Find a want and answer that particular want of them, so that they are satisfied. They want to continue your business. They want to actually prescribe you to someone else. And these are two different completely different universes that should be merged. You should overlap, and you have to find a space there, both in a subject like life sciences, where you want to find an innovative product and then put it into perspective of the world. Like we have so many genetic engineer based product, but what is the daily use of that product? How many biotechnology company or day uh, we most of our daily uses are in kitchen? How many biotechnology company you find there? Literally one or two maximum, and they are also into food processing technology, not into genetic engineering or the hi-fi research we speak about. And this is the factor we need to understand, and we need to integrate. If you're an academician and you want to really step up as an entrepreneur, you have to really understand the fact that where these two fields merge, that overlap area, you have to find that area and you have to start working towards that. And life sciences is like ocean, like every single subject, like biochemistry is an individual subject, biotechnology is an individual subject, microbiology is an individual subject. Then there is zoology and animal science, plant biotechnology, agriculture, and at some point two or three fields overlap, or some points every single field overlap, and you have to find that particular spot where you standing. That is most important and the basic step towards your entrepreneurship score from life sciences background. So when I started, then I joined research in IIT because I felt I need to be very strong in academics, or have a basic knowledge in my field, or strong knowledge in my field, and then only I can step into entrepreneurship and start business. At 26, that was in 2012, 26, I was going nowhere. So I had to take a sabbatical. I have to stop what I was doing in research, what I was doing inside lab, and I have to come out of the cocoon, if I can put the right word, and see what is happening in the outer world. And the outer world was very extremely different. It was moving away from me. It was moving at a pace. I really at some time I really thought if I can catch up with what the world is going on with. Uh, so 2012, I co-founded a company called BioUltima Life Sciences Private Limited, and our major goal was to innovate food-based products and preservatives, and address some needs in the agriculture sector. The funding was a major problem. Like I come from a very humble background, with the parents, like very typical Indian parents, spending all their money on our education, and you must see that 26 years I was not earning. I was doing my research, and I was not earning the 15,000 paltry money, whatever came as a stipend. It's never going to be enough, even for me, even for my petrol expense or my research expense. The contingencies don't come at time. You have to put money from your own pocket. Even at 26, you have to go and nag your dad to give you pocket money, and all that kind of stuff are happening. And if you are going to ask your dad for funding, then that is going to be end of your entire dream of becoming an entrepreneur, or at least academician in life science group. So when it comes to funding, we can actually work out on a lot of options. You can get a venture capitalist. I think that is now many of you would have seen that film, and where I'm not sure about the name of the film. Surya acted as he wanted to start an aeronautical company, and he talks about funding. Maybe I think you may be aware of that. You can get a fund from venture capitalists, or bank can fund you, collateral or non-collateral based. I think up to 2 crores nowadays. After the emergence of Honorable Prime Minister Narendra Modi has increased that non-collateral based funding to 2 crores, which was earlier I think 50 lakhs or 1 crores. This is called CGTMSE fund, which is a credit guarantee basically given by government of India to encourage entrepreneurs, to encourage banks to provide fund to entrepreneurs. And if at all in a very rare case where you fail, that fund is covered by the government of India. There is a credit guarantee fund, and they can cover for you. Um, then always you can raise money in the name of equities. You can sell shares. If you're a private limited company, you cannot sell shares to your outside your group or family, but you can sell debentures, that and a lot of things for fundings. Legal fundings is there. Illegal fundings. Illegal fundings is when you want to you raise money without giving any guarantee, or like even if you get money from your friend for business, and if it is in paper, it is illegal money. Like it is very legal. You can get money from your friend, but in legality, if you get money from your friend for business, if you're running a company, you are not allowed to do that. If he's not a member of the company, or if he's not a director of the company, or if you're not a partner of the company, you cannot get money for your business. You can get money for you, but you cannot get money for your business. There are a lot of paperwork, and there are a lot of legalities you have to take care of before you start company. So I found a venture capitalist, and he's an angel investor. He has been investing in a lot of businesses, and the company was going very good. And we were getting. He was funding us more every year. For the 4 years, he was. We were pumping money into capital account again and again and again. And one fine day, my angel investor ran into trouble. His other business, which was real estate, which is hugely volatile, that ran into trouble, and he wanted to withdraw all the money he has put into the company, and I cannot say no, because he's perfectly allowed to do that. He was a major stakeholder of the company, and the board also accepted. And all of a sudden, in 2016, we didn't have a single penny. So the company, which was yesterday which was very healthy and running the day before, overnight it has become like I have to find the entire 2 to 2.5 crores of money which he was able to withdraw. I have to pump in that money back. Otherwise, it is very difficult for running it even for a week without the capitals. So 2016, I had to take that very hard decision of coming out from my own co-founded company, which I perceived like for 7 8 years. The idea was inside me for 7 8 years. I nurtured it. I didn't have proper sleeps at night, because suddenly you will get an idea of what to do at 11:30 in the night, 12 o'clock in the night, and you have to start up. You have to wake up and write everything, because once you wake up, once you continue to sleep and wake up, you will completely forget what the idea was. Like all those efforts you put in, you have to sometimes you don't take your food on time, sometimes you don't have time for your own self, you cannot go to functions, uh, uh, or you actually don't concentrate enough in the family. There are so many things you have to actually sacrifice to become an entrepreneur. And when you do all this, and one fine day, and everything, you wake up and everything is a dream, uh, you should have why I mentioned this is because not to get any sympathy, but you should not have any sentiment towards your company when it is not giving you any more money, when it is not you are not able to support it with any more money, and when you see it as a loss, you should have no sentiments. You should simply walk away from that. No, this is where a lot of entrepreneurs do mistakes. There are no failed businesses. There are only failed entrepreneurs, because uh, a business will always indicate you when it is going to fail. When there is no enough cash flow, it is obviously going to fail. You cannot keep on pumping money in, so that you can turn it around, unless you are a very big concern with a big pockets like Amazon. Like Amazon has started some 25 30 years back, and only 5 years back they started to break even and get profit. Imagine how much sales Amazon does every single day, and they were into loss on every single day. Even at that during that period of financial loss, they were giving you offers, they were giving salaries, they were paying their vendors, everything was happening. They were pumping capital every day for 25 years. That much deep pocket, if you don't have the scalable to your business, it is always good to close that business and walk out of that business without having any sentiments or emotional attachments towards the business. That is what exactly I did in 2016. Then I have to wait for one more year before I started again. This time I needed to select my field, and that identification was I chose diagnostic laboratory as a field, because diagnostic laboratory will give you money every day. Simply, like you need not to depend on persons to give you money. You need not to depend on venture capitalists, angels, banks, or really, you need not to wait till your product comes out. There should be some cash flow inside you to maintain maintain your quality of life. You have a certain quality of life, because you have to, every other day you are into a meeting, you have to put up yourself things, or cosmetic things, or very not cheap. They are very costly. Good cosmetic things are very costly. You need to have a good coat. You need to have a good shoes. You need to have a good watch. All these things are noted. This is not like the old Socrates story where you can actually go in racks, have a very cheap cosmetics, and you can go and convince your financiers, or even your customers. You cannot do that. That is good for the flea reach, and that is good for that is very good to read in a WhatsApp readout or a Facebook meme. That sounds good, but in real world that doesn't work. You need to present yourself at your best. You need to be very neat, you need to be very clean, and you need to be at your very best when you go. And because like how much you take care of yourself is a direct reflection of how much you take care of your product, how much you take care of someone else, your customers. You're going to answer someone's need. That need is very important for them, and they see if you can give the same kind of importance they impart on their need, and then only they will be able to choose you as a vendor. Or like nobody, you cannot just walk into any office and say, sir, I've started this business, you can give me orders, I've started this, you can help me out with this thing. That cannot happen. You need to understand basically that you are the brand. When you start a startup, when you don't, you can have a fancy logo, you can have a private limited in your company's name, but when you go out, the promoter is the brand, and the promoter has to be at his very best and presentable way to convince the customer and make him believe that you will take care of. Is kind of essentially the customer is actually handing over a part of his problem to you, and you should believe that you can entirely take care of it like the way he does. Sometimes you give more importance to that particular aspect of what the customer needs more than the customer himself gives. All these things you need cash flow, and as an entrepreneur, like you can say the goal, what is the goal of entrepreneur? People generally say the goal of the entrepreneur is to answer some need, do this, do that, give solution to the world. No, the goal of the entrepreneur is to actually earn money. When you don't earn money, you're not an entrepreneur, you are into charity. When you answer someone's need without getting money back, it is called charity. And we are not here to do charity, we are here to do business, we are here to earn money. You are to one day if you earn money, you'll be able to invest in next thing. You can actually make whatever solution you are giving to someone's need, you can make it even better solution. You can come up with upgradations that can happen only with money. And without money, if someone comes and says to you, like entrepreneur have to do this to the society, do that to that to the society, don't believe in his words. He's trying to actually derail you. Entrepreneurs are here to, first and foremost goal of entrepreneur is to make money. So make money in most ethical possible way. So why I put in the most ethical possible way is because ethics differs from person to person, law to law, and government to government. And sitting at our place in Chennai, we cannot question someone's ethics in United States of America. We cannot question someone's ethics in Saudi Arabia. So they have very different kind of laws. Some businesses are allowed, legally allowed in Thailand, and it is completely illegal here. So uh, in the most comparatively ethical way, you have to earn money. uh, so I chose diagnostic as a field in 2017, and we started as a very small diagnostic lab with uh, a spectrophotometer for biochemistry analysis and one small microscope for cell counts. That is how we started, and in 2018 we received our first funding from 2018. We received our first funding from government of India for 10 lakhs. We wrote a project on how we can actually use whole blood for analysis, because we get very little, very small amount of samples for analysis. Sometimes when it is from pregnant women, whatever, like we were 3 4 drops. It is very important because many of the pregnant women in India are anemic. That is a very important field we need to answer, especially in rural India. Outside Tamil Nadu, Tamil Nadu is comparatively better, and Gujarat is comparatively better. But outside these two states, majorly, like you don't find public health center everywhere, and a lot of home-based births, childbirths happen, and there is a lot of difficulties involved into that because they don't have a proper medical system where they analyze what is available, what are the treatments available, what are the medicines available for like stillbirth is still happening, the percentage is high, postpartum death is still happening. Both mothers and children, they suffer from a lot of deficiencies, and all this can be answered from one single drop of blood. So we wrote this project to government of India, and we said we can come up with a device which will be able to measure very important features like their vitamin deficiency and their hemoglobin deficiency. That's like what you do with your sugar meter. Like there is a handheld glucose meter which can tell you which numerically gives you a value for your presence of your sugar. So we wanted to come up with such a device that can be bought by one person, and that can be used by 10 person. Or we can have it as a diagnostic tool in public health centers or even in private diagnostic labs, and at very less cost. This can answer. This will actually help in human resource index of the country, because as a country, our population is also more than 130 crores or 140 crores now. We want to and like we are the country with most number of youngsters in age between 25 and 35, but these people will age in another 25 years. And the people they are going to be replaced with should be very healthy, and we should also have the rate at which the population is growing. And the real reason for all this birth is because people in northern India are generally in the rural northern India generally have the notion that like in every 10 birth only 3 survive. That was the case with our grandparents as well, even in developed state like Tamil Nadu. There are only we can see we can if you can ask your grandparents, they will say like they are the 13th child, 10th child, the 12th child. We cannot imagine such a thing now because we can ensure 90 to 95% of safe birth, and they crossing the mortality rate very easily. Only if we are able to control that and import that kind of percentile everywhere in India, we'll be able to control our population, because that assurance we need to give that if there are 2 to 3 births, we can have 2.5 is the rate of survival. Then that makes a very great human resource index, and all these 10 children, 13 children, 15 children, this can be curbed, and then there will be the population growth will not be exponential, and it will be around expected line. The replacement rate will be very expected, and plannings of government, a lot of things falls into that. The fundings, the schemes the government can fund into, all these things can happen. So this was a project we wrote to government of India, and they gave us a fund for 10 lakhs in 2018. In 2019, with the government support, we received around 1.79 lakhs, 1.79 crores was bank funding, with 25% of the money being subsidized by government of Tamil Nadu under NEET scheme. Secondly, after that, we also have a laboratory in Taisal Biopark, Taramani, for complete genetic analysis, and that is again funded by state government and central government, and also banks, and of course from our equity as well. Then in 2020, starting COVID happened, and the need and requirement for life science graduates and our inputs has increased. So now we are also in the market. I consider job market. We are also in the job market, and people are ready to hear what we say. Post COVID, I think there will be more funding into life science departments, and because like the world is, and what we should do and what we shouldn't do, and there will be a lot of funding in preventive medicine, and if you want to really focus even for your academics or preventive medicine, because world is not ready to face any of even the economics have been hit, the supply chains have been hit, the movement restricted, there are a lot of restriction on the movement. Through that again, so as a laboratory we made a lot of money. It was initially fun, actually, confessing, it was initially fun to get all the money through for the testing, but during the second wave, like every single person had a tragic story, and it is not fun anymore. So you get money, so that is why you are here. This is not fun. This is not the kind of when especially we are here, we are specialized people. We are able to predict. We are able to say this can happen, this cannot happen. With all the technologies there, everything is happening, but still we are going through this. So government will pump in a lot of money, like private companies will pump in a lot of money, equity market will pump in a lot of money into preventive medicine and clinical trials, and maybe bioinformatics will come into a big play, because that is another field as biochemists. Like we are, most of you will be into wet lab, and we generally try to avoid bioinformatics, but I think bioinformatics will play a very big role, because a lot of things cannot be done in vitro. We need to do some in silico analysis as well, and try to integrate. And if that is your field, if you want to integrate what is happening in the wet lab, what is happening in the dry lab, and you can come up with integration, you can come up with predictions that would do a greater good for the world, greater good for you, and for your finances, for your academics, and for your institutions also. If there is one area of focus I will say, like there is a lot of money that will be involved, there is a lot of growth will be involved, and a lot of fame will be involved. That would be definitely this preventive medicine. Not only just as viral based medicines, but even for, like, we don't have medicines for bacterial load, but there's a dengue outburst every year. Like you can say, like everyone in the family may have gone to dengue, and then there is this chikungunya. There are a lot of viral diseases coming out, and these all can be prevented. Malaria can be prevented. We can actually prevent malaria. We can statistically tell when malaria happens, or what are the requirements, needs. We have all the data in that, but the prediction, bio-based prediction, it is what is happening in meteorology department. They say, look, it was very bad some 10 years back. They will say it will rain today, it won't rain. They will say it will be all sunny tomorrow. We'll be ready to watch a cricket match, and Sachin Tendulkar is batting, and it will rain and will be spoiled. But today, meteorological department says it will rain at 3:10. It is raining at 95% of time they hit the bullseye. So the same thing can be done in our own field, life sciences, and we can say there will be outbreak of malaria in this particular area because it is prone to such an outbreak. The environment supports the outbreak, and the you can say the a percentage of outbreak will be this much in this area and this much in this area, and all those predictions can be done in our own field also. uh, uh, this is in medical biochemistry or biotechnology, you want to put it. Then there is always this food and agri where we can concentrate. Uh, Luckily we have a very stable food culture. Like at least 70 to 80% we still follow what we have been following for 1000 years or before. Like, I don't want to get into that politics. We have been following our ancestral food techniques and methods, but it is slowly changing now. People want to try out on new foods, but there are problems with the new foods, and some of the foods suddenly someone is I don't know how many of you are aware. Last week there was a paper which linked diabetes to intake of egg every day. So there is this national egg council which is saying Sunday or Monday Roj Kaya Ande, that is every day you go egg. And then there is a paper saying when you do that you will be at the risk of developing, you will at a higher risk of developing diabetes. Uh, so where did this study come from? This is more like preventive medicine. Then you will have to understand what you are made up of. There are people now who are able to tell you what kind of exercise you want to do based on your genetic analysis. People do the sequencing and tell this muscle is this muscle won't work out for you. This kind of exercise doesn't work out for you. If you want your six pack, do this, do that. This is done based on genetic analysis. And look, this is for a very cosmetic. Like I would say, this exercise, six pack, everything is cosmetic. Walking can keep you fit. Going to gym is not. It's a necessity. It is only to like it's a very personal affiliation, and if you want to go you can go, but that industry is using our industry, and they are able to tell this you have to do this exercise and that exercise, wherein us we people are not able to identify that particular need, and we can actually tell what kind of food someone can eat. There is always this allergy stuff is there, but maybe like a certain food is doing more harm than harm than good. That we can tell people. Then we can tell this. Then look, where for say for cereals, we are mostly dependent on import. We are not able to actually understand our own soil, our own agriculture patterns, and we are not able to grow cereals. We are not able to reduce the import of cereals. The government is spending so much money on import. Foreign exchange is there. Government is also ready to fund. If you are very interested in doing that, government is also ready to fund when you can cut those import. Those research, there is a lot of but what we have done is, like, we have actually asked all these kind of research. These are only associated with Tamil Nadu Agriculture University, and nowhere it says like a biochemist should not do that. A biochemist from so and so college should not do that. But we have this filters in brain, and like that. I have taken this subject. I will do this thing. My focus will be only on this thing. I won't answer these solutions because there is some other institute doing that. Let them do that. You can also do that. I want to recall an incident when I started business. One of my suppliers for minus 80, sorry, not for minus 80, for the lab refrigerators. So that guy came in, and he said his brother is a doctor in Delhi. He started a diagnostic lab. There was already 9 diagnostic lab in that locality, and he was starting a 10 diagnostic lab. Then some MBA students who did some project there happened to be his patient, and when he started diagnostic lab, that guy told doctor, you are actually in a highly populated area because there are already 9 diagnostic lab, and our survey and study shows there is only place for 9 diagnostic lab, and the 10 diagnostic lab will eventually fail. So I think you have started a business that would fail. The doctor told, what you can say from numbers is, there is place for nine laboratories, nine successful laboratories. There is place for that. Why are you counting me out of that nine? It can be the 10th lab which is going to fail can be any of the existing nine labs. How can what is the data that says this newcomer is going to fail? The newcomer can come in and he can actually kick out any of the existing guys. So likewise, when you can actually do research on whatever the Tamil Nadu Agriculture University TNAU does, or the food industry does, or the marine biotechnology NIOT does. Anyone can do any research. Anyone can answer any problems. We should actually take these filters out of mind and to concentrate on what we will be able to do first, and where it can be used. When you integrate these two things, you are on the first step of starting your entrepreneur journey. And second, early bird, there is a proverb, early bird makes something like forgotten that, but that early bird will catch to that. Start early. You can start a company even now into your college days. There are a lot of successful companies in United States of America where this entrepreneur journey is really, it's up, the fire is always there. They start companies very early. Like we have heard like Bill Gates is a dropout, Zuckerberg is a dropout, all these things, because they say they thought they would be doing more good and making more stuffs outside the academic institutes, rather than doing that. But don't buy that and drop out of your college. You have to really finish your academics, because Bill Gates and Zuckerberg dropped out of top colleges. They thought those top universities are not good for them. Okay, so don't ever try to be a dropout, but you can start from now. You can start a partnership with your friend. You can start a private limited company with your friend. There will be definitely this wonderful initiation is from the government of India and your college. They are providing you. I've been to DT Vaishnav College a number of times, and the instruments. If I rightly believe, there is a preparatory HPLC in DT Vaishnav College, which is a very costly device. There is a handmade DNA sequencer. I think manual DNA sequencer available with DG Vaishnav College. These are all the instruments people from other colleges and other institutions dream of. Actually, they have not even seen, but that is rightly available for you there. So you can actually take help from your entrepreneur cell. You can start a company. You can actually do the paperwork now. Whatever you want to do, licensing, what you can do with the licensing. You can start doing some services. For example, you can there are a lot of this sequencing services come to different people. There are a lot of this ELISA services come to different people. You can fund your own ELISA. You can 10 15 people can fund your own ELISA mission. Like that is a 1 lakh, 1.5 lakhs mission. You can fund your own mission. You can put it into a common place, and you can market for that. You can do all kind of stuff. Whatever you want to try out, you can try out at this phase, because when you come out and when you want to start this journey and when you want to really make money, you have to be productive from day one. There is no space for them. Like what would I say? Like this, you can use this as your Ranji Trophy matches, where you can actually practice a lot, and in a real testing pitch like a Gaba or a Johannesburg, look how difficult it will be for you to go and bat. You're debuting. You're handed your bat and your debut cap, and that is the first time you are facing a bowler. And the difference of someone who has played 50, 60 Ranji Trophy matches, that is exciting. Sorry for the cricket analogy, because I like cricket a lot, and I also think you people can understand cricket better. Uh, that is the kind of experience you will garner here, and the guidance will always be there, because academically your staffs can take, and you will also have an MBA department. You can take your MBA department people into this entrepreneur journey. Like your the professors from that particular department can help. One more thing I want to tell you here is do a MBA. That is very important. Learn business, because I was also a guy who actually didn't believe in MBA long back. I always believed how you respond to how you respond to a practical problem cannot be taught theoretically inside a class. That mimicking doesn't happen. But you have to learn a lot. There is a lot of things other than this perspective in a MBA, where you will identify legality, where you will identify what kind of companies you can run, what is best suited for you. There are different type of companies. Partnership is there, LLP is there, private limited is there, limited is there, proprietorship is there, NGOs are there, Section 8 companies are there, where which is not run for profit, all these kind of institutes are there which shoots good for you. And then what are the legality involved with each company, and how someone has responded to such a situation, all these case studies you can do. And if you are not really ready to do MBA, you can have an MBA who is a partner, or you can MBA who can contribute. Always be multifaceted. That would help. Just like not unlike going in the linear route, you can actually have different kind of people contributing or different kind of ideas. That would always help, because there is one work less for you. If someone is there to take care of your marketing, I think you have one work less, because you can concentrate on your operations. um, so all this you have to integrate. All this you can try out in your college environment, where uh, uh, you know, even if you fail, it doesn't matter. Failure is a big deal, but when you fail, it doesn't matter. You will learn a lot of things, and you are still young. You will know what to do. You will definitely know to what limit you can push yourself. All these things you can do in your college time. And you can and there is going to be a lot of help from a lot of people when you are a college, when you come out as an entrepreneur and there's no one to rely upon. When you compare that with inside a college atmosphere, there's going to be a lot of help. The entire college is going to help, the entire alumnus is going to help you, because you're still inside that institution. And that environment, that help what you're going to get is huge. That is humongous. No one can describe that, because uh, just imagine when every single decision has to be made only by you, when every single work has to be done only by you, and even for help you are going to someone, as opposed to help coming to you, as opposed to someone always being there to help you. That is a situation that college environment and institution-based entrepreneurship can come up with. That is something that is really lacking in India. Even top MBA college doesn't have a company. Like I think IIT Delhi is the only IIT Delhi, or yeah, IIT Delhi is the only institute in India where you can do a PhD by starting a company. Look, it's a nation of 130 crores. We are saying there are a lot of startups next only to Israel, and fundings is available there. There are a lot of brilliant people. There are a lot of MBAs who are going and becoming CEOs of international companies, multinational companies. They are bringing fame to India. But there is only one institute in this entire nation which can support entrepreneurship while you are actually being an entrepreneur. Like you can do an MBA and become an entrepreneur, but supporting you during the journey, supporting you right from the start of the journey, that is entirely a different thing. uh, and I think you can be the person who can start that in this particular institute. You can be someone who can start it in South India, or maybe I think I don't. I'm not aware. Like I keep myself updated, but I'm 100% sure I'm not aware of any such course or any such institution doing that. You can be the first one to do that. You can right up after this lecture. You can go 1:30. You can start. Nothing is never late. So I think it's 45 minutes of very boring lecture from me. Like for 15 minutes, I would like to have some exchanges from you. Like if you have any doubts, I can clarify. And in this exchange, I can also learn, because entrepreneurship is a learning of lifetime. It is not that you always learn everything, sit at the top, nothing happens. You know, every single day you have to wake up and learn something, and it can be from anyone. So for 15 minutes, I'm ready to entertain any questions, and I think you'll be having a lot of questions. Or we can have a very good exchange, please. Yeah, sir.
Sir, I have one
Thank
question,
you so
sir.
much, sir. Thank you
Uh,
so much, sir. It was a very interesting and thought-provoking session. Once you learn to question, you will start to learn. It's a time for curious students. Kindly put forth your question for the speaker. Those who are attending via YouTube streaming, post your question in the chat box.
Sir, I have one question, sir.
yeah, sir.
Sir, at point of time, you gain an interest in stem cell therapy, sir?
Uh, Stem cell therapy. Actually, I was working with a stem cell therapy based company in. It was the first company in entire South India. So like that was during my MSc times, where I was working part time for them. After colleges, I used to go do night shift with them. So I will tell you very openly. I'm not going to hide, and I'm not going to be a messiah or prophet. I like money. I like making money, and there was a lot of money in stem cell therapy at that time. Like people are ready to pay in lakhs for something you can offer for 10, 15,000. Even at now they are offering for a few thousands and they're still very profitable. So when they started early, when that was a new concept, there was a lot of money there. So that is when that was the opportunity and I like that.
So thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Sir, who supported and guided you to get into this field, sir?
Actually, uh, my mother is a botanist, but she didn't have a career after getting married. So I was always interested in life science. Uh, but there was no the initiation come from no one. I'm a fan of a very big actor in Tamil cinema, and there is a part of the inspiration came from that one movie and one scene where he comes in a very posh car. He lands from an airport, comes in a very posh car, and uses a laptop. That inspired me. I asked my mom what is that, and she said only he is able to do that because he is doing business. So from very young age, like sixth or seventh standard, I wanted to do business. I really had no idea of what is business or what it requires. But from then on, it was the idea. Like inspiration can come from anywhere.
Thank you, sir.
Sir, what are the difficulties that you faced in managing laboratories during COVID period, sir?
Like it is the safety of our co-workers. That is why, because people were very actually my lab staffs, they were very happy because finally they came into recognition. Their work is recognized, their presence is recognized, and the very existence, people just woke up and oh, you people exist, right? That kind of thing happened. They were very enthusiastic to come, and because of the lockdown it was a very different environment. No one is coming out of home, but you can very freely come. And there was that kind of enthusiasm in the laboratory people. But the biggest problem is I don't want them to be get infected. I had to literally tell them as a boss. It was a very difficult period. I have to tell them to not to come to work, and they were very eager to come to work. So I have to tell them their safety of their personal safety and their safety of their family member, immediate family members, and their environment is more important than what they are going to contribute during this time. So it is very difficult. The biggest difficulty is asking my own staff to not come to work.
Thank you, sir.
Sir, can you tell about the technological advancement in stem cell therapy, sir?
Look, stem cell therapy as there is a first in allopathy medicine. In allopathy based medicine, stem cell therapy has come with a very good news of curing the first diabetic patient. So diabetes, people say it is maintainable, it is reversible. A lot of marketing gimmicks are going on, but stem cell therapy has cured a diabetes patient, and his cells have started to, his pancreas has started to produce insulin again, and he is living a normal life like most of us. And this can be transferred to organ failures, cancers. Transplantation is happening. We have been involved in a clinical trial of a treatment of someone with a quadriplegia. That guy has never walked right from day of his birth. He's 16 years old, and for the first time, he is able to walk with the help of a stick. And the kind of happiness you see in his eyes, the expressions, the thanks, the gratitude, that is very encouraging. So stem cells can potentially it can be we can say it is the elixir that is going to uh, take out all our diseases and disorders.
Thank you, sir.
Oh, that was a very sweet thank you. Thank you, Balaji.
Good afternoon, sir. My question is, what tips would you give to this generation students to become an entrepreneur in the field of science?
Uh, Look, it is going to take a lot of courage, and this is a very good opportunity for us. Like most of us will be like, I don't know what is happening with the current trend, but when we graduated, even our fathers, they believe that we chose a field where there is less area for growth. Why I didn't take computer science, why I didn't get into software. Because but I saw an opportunity. Maybe in a scale different in a different scale, what Narayana Murthy did with Infosys, what XYZ did with Tata Infotech. There is such an opportunity available for every life science graduate. Like there is no big life science company in India. That big brand is not completely innovation based brand is not available, and it can be any one of us. I'm putting like anyone who is willing to do that. We can be the next Narayana Murthy of life science we can be the next biggest entrepreneur in life science. That dice is open. That opportunity is open to every one of us, and and that will motivate you. That's what should be the motivation you really look for.
Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon, Niklesh.
What are the limitations of genetic testing, sir?
Uh, Limitations. Can you be more specific, Vignesh? Limitations in which perspective?
In general, of genetic testing.
Genetic testing we do for various purposes. Forensic has a limitation that, like if someone comes for a parental testing, they have to file a FIR, and only with then it becomes legal. Otherwise, we cannot do parental test for anyone who is willing to do. That is basically considered illegal. And then, if you consider you can use genetic testing for gender identification also. When you are little careless with revealing your results, then that can land you in deep legal troubles.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah.
Good afternoon, sir.
Yeah.
Is there any internships you provide for the students in your laboratory?
Yeah, we have been doing, but owing to COVID, we have stopped doing in-person internships. But hopefully, in another 3 to 6 months, we'll be opening it again.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. So no one is curious about the background I have and why I chose this particular background. So let me reveal that there is no reason in choosing this particular background, and the entrepreneurship journey is very much like that. You don't need anything or associate with anything to be an entrepreneur. There is no background required for the entrepreneur. The only thing is the motivation and the fire you have inside you. When every other person, whether it be your mother, your father, your girlfriend, your friends, whoever says no, 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 this is idiotic, this is stupid, you shouldn't be doing this, you should be concentrating on someone else, you should be using your time for something else. There should be only one person and one voice saying yes, and that should be coming from inside you, and that is when you succeed. Like a lot of people can say no, but if you can say yes to yourself every single day, you will succeed, and you can always start like. And there is no success and failure in entrepreneurship. But the moment you decide to entrepreneur, the moment you start, you are a success already. So failure in terms of financial, that can be uh, you can rebuild from anywhere. Anytime you can do that. You can go back to scratch again and do anything possible. General Sanders did it at the age of 75, 80, and someone did it at the age of 18. Age doesn't matter, but the fire and motivation inside you, and every day you are having something to motivate you and wake up and do the same thing again and again, despite not having results in front of your eyes. That is entrepreneurship.
Any more questions? Thank you, sir, for imparting your knowledge to us by answering these questions. I'm sure it must have been enlightening to our students.
I'm not able to hear you. Can I come again?
Kindly switch on your video for a short photo session. Students and staff, kindly switch on your video for a short photo session. Gratitude is a currency that we can make for ourselves and spend without the fear of bankruptcy. I invite Ms. G. Kamali of 2nd MSc Biochemistry to deliver the vote of thanks.
Gratitude makes sense of our past, brings peace for today, and creates a vision for tomorrow. I consider it is a great opportunity and a privilege to propose a vote of thanks to all the participants who have made it memorable and a successful event. On behalf of our Department of Biochemistry and IIC, I would like to thank our beloved Secretary, Sri Ashok Kumar Muntraji, and Principal Dr. S. Santosh Babu sir, who took initiative to organize this wonderful section. I also wish to thank the President, Dr. S. Santosh Babu, Vice President, Dr. R. Kumaran, Convener, Dr. P. Vidya, as well as the other members and coordinators of the Institution Innovation Council for guiding and motivating us to organize this webinar. My heartfelt thanks to our head of the department and all the faculties who have always been there to guide us and support us. There are no words to express our thanks to the speaker of the day, Dr. V. Egan, for spending his valuable time with us and enlightening and benefiting us with thought-provoking addresses. I would also like to thank our technical support team, MC team, and others who worked behind the scene to make this event a great success. Last but not least, I thank all my fellow students and friends for participating in the webinar. Thank you all.
Feedback form in the link that has been provided in the chat box. Hope this session was very useful to all of you. Thank you. Have a nice day and stay safe.
Thank you.